suddenly this title shot comes to you. Does that give you an extra fire, or are you just putting in the miles and the work in the gym anyway, so it doesn't really matter if there's a gold belt on the line, you're going to be putting in the work as hard as you can anyway?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, fine, but this is the big one, you know. I've been working at this for a long time. But yeah, just for another fight, you know, 5-rounder. I was prepping for a 5-rounder and now fighting, I guess, the best guy in a 5-rounder. Couldn't put all the work in. Toughest fight of my life.
Belal's a funny one, right? Because everyone sort of looks at him and thinks, okay, forward pressure, lots of takedown attempts, just try and control you. So in a way, you would think, okay, that gives me something that I know what I have to prepare for. But then he's coming out and saying, no, he's not going to go for one takedown. He's going to beat you on the feet and all this, maybe trying to play with your mind a little bit. What exactly have you prepared for from Belal?
I mean, I guess just all you can do is just watch his previous fights and just that's what you can expect. You know, I think his bread and butter is pushing a high pace, mixing it up, takedowns, striking. So yeah, I try not to listen too much to what he's going to say and just prepare as to what we see in his previous fights.
I don't think it's out of line to say that sometimes he doesn't really connect with the fan base. Do you feel like you're getting a lot of support from the fans to try and get this guy out of the title picture?
Yeah, I feel like I've got good fans, you know, fans that have stuck by me for a long time, and I think they believe in me. I mean, I appreciate my fans, but yeah, that's it. I'm just coming in here to do a job.
I believe I saw you say in an embedded that you think he's had a nice run, but it's time for him to retire, buddy. What exactly are you going to do to him to make him walk away from the sport on Saturday?
I'm going to try and finish him dominantly, you know. That'd be the way I'd like it to go down. Dominant finish, and then, yeah, that's up to him at that point, what's next for him.
Belal was just in here. You know, we talked a bit about how this fight compared to Belal's previous fight against Leon, there's a lot of bad blood. But here, it's you guys. Your trash talk is I'm better at grappling, I'm better at striking, I'm better at MMA. It's much more skill-based trash talking. Is that something that you prefer, or is like if you do become champion, you might have guys kind of trying to pick at you, kind of like what Ilya did to Volk, and Volk was like, I kind of like this because it brings more attention to the fights.
I mean, whatever. I'm just going to be myself. I'm a professional, you know, so I'm just coming in to take him out. He can say what he wants. I'm prepared for it all.
And there is probably as much tape on Belal as anyone in the welterweight division against, Wonder Boy, high-level striker, Damian Maia, and Gilbert, high-level grapplers. So I guess, have you seen this massive progression that I guess fans seem to think Belal took this big leap in skill, or if you break down tape on him, has he always been this good and people have just been overlooking him for a long time?
I think he's always been pretty good, you know. He's always done what he needs to do to win, and I think that's his strong suit, you know. He's a winner, so it's a tough fight. It's a tough guy to beat, but I believe we've got the skills. There's a lot of tape on him, so yeah, I've been studying, and I think I've got the ability to beat him.
And then just last one for me, I asked Belal this too, and he said it is kind of annoying that pretty much every interview he does, it's how does this fight shape two weight classes, right? Lightweight and welterweight, and even middleweight if Belal wants to go to middleweight at some point. So is it annoying for you too that you're fighting for your first title and everyone seems to be asking, well, what's next, even though the fight hasn't even happened yet?
I mean, it's sort of, it kind of always happens, you know. It's always what's next after this. But, yeah, I've got my eyes on Belal. I'm going to get through Belal and then see what happens.
Just one way here, Jake. Belal confirmed that he want to beat you on the feet. Do you think he want to play mind game with you, or do you actually think he believe that? Like, that's what my question, because it seems a little bit odd that he want to beat you on your style.
I mean, I think he's hoping, and I think he believes in himself. I believe he believes in his striking. I think obviously the fight's going to start striking, so I think he'll test it out. But I think when he gets uncomfortable or when he feels that the advantage might be leaning towards me, I think he'll lean back to his bread and butter.
Yeah. So you expect him to shoot early in the fight or to try to box at the beginning?
I'm not expecting too much. I think he's shown in the past he mixes it up, so I think he'll strike a bit, mix it up, shoot takedowns, expect it all.
Last one for me, predict a third round knockout. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think a third round knockout sounds pretty spot on.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Jack?
Just one over here. So it's been about 10 years since the UFC has been in Montreal. I mean, what can Montreal fans, and even Canadian fans for that matter, expect Saturday night?
Yeah, I think this is the high-level match, you know, especially my match. It's the champion versus a solid contender, and I expect a tough fight, you know, tough 5-rounder.
Thanks.
Jack right here. You win this fight, you know, you'll get the big paycheck, have lots of opportunities coming your way. Do you use that money to get the nose surgery, or does that wait till the end of the career?
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Jack,
Good one.
I just kind of want to go off one of Jose's questions earlier. What specifically about Belal do you think it is that some of these guys don't take serious about him, and then they go into the fight and they think, man, maybe I should have taken him a little bit more serious, you know what I mean? Just like we saw it with Leon when he was at the media day. He said, oh, it's just Belal, isn't it? You know, so is there anything specific about Belal? Like, is it his character? Is it the way he acts? Or is it...
I don't know. I don't necessarily think people underestimate it. I think it would be silly for anyone to underestimate anyone in this sport, but I think he's just proven that he's better than these guys, you know? I think that's the bottom line. That's what I believe. I believe he's better than everyone he's fought, and that's why he's got the victory.
And then what's the interactions been with Ian Gary this week? Because we see him running around. He's trying to play jokes and do banter. Like, he's handed me a bag of M&Ms with an autograph on it. We saw him use his kid to hand you a bag of M&Ms, talk about the weight thing. Like, does it bother you? Does it feel like, you know, the brother that's tagging along, you know, what you know, that gets asked to come out with you guys, or do you not even worry about it?
Yeah, I try not to worry about it, you know. He's doing his thing. He's staying, trying to just stay relevant, you know. I guess he's just hoping that someone falls through so he can get his spot, which is fair enough. But, yeah, no, I try to avoid him. Except if it's fight time, then yeah, I won't avoid him. I will right in his face.
Jack over here. How's it going, mate? There's a rumour going around that if you win on Saturday, Perth will land the pay-per-view, and that if you lose, we'll get a fight night. Does this add to the stakes for you heading into this one?
I think it makes sense, you know. If Perth have a homegrown champion, why not? It'd be obviously a dream come true for me to defend the belt in Perth. I think it makes sense across the board. So whether that's something they do, I don't know. But that would obviously be a dream for me to defend a title in my backyard.
Of course. There's been a bit of noise leading into this about the Rivo Bar and Grill situation. Can you provide any clarity around that, your side of the story?
We're just doing a like a paid appearance thing, and yeah, it sort of fell through. It was just too much. I needed to focus on the fight, you know, not doing that sort of stuff. But we'll do it after. When I get back, we'll make it happen. I've got a lot of fans. I've got a respect for the people that are there. So yeah, I'm excited to do that when we get back.
Yeah, well, I guess that leads into one.
With the belt, it'll be even better, you know.
Of course, that leads into one of my other questions. What is the celebration plan if the city of Perth offered you a ceremony maybe in Forest Square? Is that something that you'd be open to?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bit high key for, you know, you'd probably like to keep it a bit more low key, but, you know, we see the Wildcats there when they win a championship, that kind of thing. I think that would be a suitable environment.
Yeah, I think it would be a good moment for Perth, you know, bring the belt back to our small city.
Of course, you've repped Perth since day one, and, you know, Steve came razor close to bringing that belt back to WA. Is that something you guys have spoken about, bringing the belt back to Perth?
I haven't spoken. Yeah, it's obviously a dream of mine. Steve was he's very close, you know, to making it happen. I believed he was going to do it, but it's a tough one, you know, tough fight to the top. Anyone can win, so wasn't his day. I'm sure he'll be back, but I'm looking forward to bring the belt back.
Of course, and last one from me. After seeing how Edwards and Brady played out, is there a part of you that's disappointed you didn't get a shot at Leon?
I mean, it would have been I was excited for the match, but obviously this is a big opportunity, so I was happy to bypass that and take this.
Of course. Okay.
Jack right here. You talked about, you know, obviously you were in camp and training for a 5-round fight, so the timing works that way. And obviously this is an opportunity you have to jump on. But we talk a lot about timing in combat sports in general in terms of, like, guys getting to a title fight too soon or too late. Just in general, how do you feel the timing of this title fight is in the scope of your overall career?
Yeah, I think it was good timing. I think if I hadn't got the injury, my thoughts would have been I probably would have been fighting for a title at a similar time. You know, I think I would have had to fight one of the top guys later in the year, and then I believe it's worked out the same. You know, I've obviously missed a fight. I think perfect world would have had the fight beforehand, but I think timeline, it works out well.
And then no doubt you would have liked to have fought in Australia. Obviously, not entirely likely as the challenger, but hopefully moving forward. But just in terms of fighting in another Commonwealth country, it's not in the States, is this kind of a good second option? It's kind of neutral ground?
Yeah, for sure. It's a cool city. I've never been here before outside of the when I came for the press conference a couple of weeks ago, but I was in very quick. But it's a cool place. I like traveling, checking out new places. Yeah, it's a pleasure to fight here, especially with the welterweight division. Obviously, the man GSP is from here, so there's a bit of history in the division. But yeah, I'm excited to kick off my title run in Montreal.
Thank you.
Jack, to your left here. Jack, on the Countdown show, obviously the UFC highlighted what was not the best start to your professional career, dropping 2 fights in a row. Do you look back at those times, in a couple of days out from your first title challenge, for the perseverance that you've showed to get to where you are at right now?
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously, not ideal, but you learn a lot from losses. I learned a lot from both those ones, skill-wise and then mentally as well, and just been on a tear ever since, you know. I think most athletes lose in this sport because it's a tough sport, many ways to win and lose. But I'm glad to have got the losses behind me and all wins going forward.
Alex Volkanovski picked up a great win against Diego Lopez, reclaiming the featherweight title. Did you look at that performance and take some inspiration of it coming into your own title challenge?
Yeah, 100%. Everything Volk does is inspiring. You know, he's an Australian legend, one of the greatest athletes in our country. So, yeah, I'm fully inspired by him and what he has done and what he continues to do.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one more, Jack. Belal in here earlier said that he thinks he's the best trash talker in the sport. So I'm just curious what type of heated lines you're expecting tomorrow at the press conference.
Yeah, he all he does is talk trash. So, I expect whatever from him. It's going to be good.
Jack, you might be the chillest guy in the UFC. When was the last time you got mad or angry at someone?
I try not to get mad too much. I can't even remember. That's a good. Yeah, I don't know. Try not to get too mad at people.
What would it?
This guy asked me about my nose.
And what would it take for an opponent to get you crazy or mad?
I don't know. I think staying calm is number one in the octagon. You know, I think being anger can be at your own detriment. So I just stay calm, try and pull the shots.
So just one more. You said that all Belal does is talk. Does that mean you don't really consider his hands to be Canelo-esque?
No, honestly, no. I don't really see the resemblance in the Canelo hands. He does have good hands, but if you're talking skill-wise, I don't see the resemblance. But maybe I'm missing something.
He also said he's the best boxer in the welterweight division. I'm curious if you agree with that.
Yeah, good on him. You know, good on him. He's proven he's the best at the moment. Won the belt. Yeah, but I think he's good at mixing it up. But yeah, I don't know too much. His boxing's alright.
One more for me, Jack, just before. You've done some work with Craig Jones in the lead up to this fight. Do you feel that that'll give you an extra advantage coming in here? And what does he bring to the table as a coach for you? Obviously, when you look at straight jiu-jitsu, is a lot different than when you're implementing jiu-jitsu into mixed martial arts.
Yeah, he's obviously a good grappler, you know. He's a good grappler. He knows what he's doing. He's been in there in the corner on big fights with Volk. And, yeah, he's just been helping us out, small details. But, yeah, he's sharpened the tools for us. I believe he's going to, he's given me some different stuff to work so I can get back to my feet.
He's definitely helping you out with the trash talking as well.
Yeah, that's it. And the after party's going to help us out there.
Big time. Thank you.
Sick. Thank you.
Just one more in the back.
Sorry.
Hey, Jack.
Hey.
So a few weeks back, you were training with Volk, Brad Riddell, and the Bang Chao boys. How was it training with that crew?
Yeah, it's awesome watching Volk prepare for the big fights. He's obviously been in there, big fights, multiple world title fights, just to be able to be in the room with him, see how he handles himself, see how he works, and then just learning from him. Very experienced champion. It was a beneficial trip for me for sure.
Nice. And I think Brad Riddell is looking to fight in June. If he does, do you think you'll be training with him?
Yeah, I'd love to. Brad's the man. He's a legendary striker, and now he's making a good run in his MMA career. So yeah, definitely at some point this year, I'd be keen to train with Brad again, 100%.
Awesome. Thank you.
See, thank you.